You are tuned into WDG Underground Columbus, home of the unsigned artists. And this is Big C in the Morning. This is the Friday morning show where it starts your Friday morning off right and your weekend early. Oh boy, it's good to be back after 2 weeks off because of, Christmas and New Year's. And now we're back. And I want to apologize in advance if the camera work is a little choppy. I don't know what's going on with the camera. I think there might be a little bug or glitch in it. I tried to solve the problem, but I was running out of time. So if it's choppy, it's choppy. They're probably gonna have to fix it after the show. So yeah. But anyways, enough about choppy camera work. It is time to get to today. Today is a very special episode of Big C in the Morning. Well, radio show of Big C in the Morning. It is the Ohio State National Championship special. Because since the Buckeyes have reached the national championship, I'm throwing a big old special about it. So yeah. Anyways, today's topics we're going to talk about are what happened in the Sugar Bowl and what we're going to expect in the national championship game. So let's get down to the first line of business, the Sugar Bowl. Oh my God, that was amazing. That was really amazing. I liked it. I liked it a lot. Even though I kind of doubted the Buckeyes a little. Because, I felt like there was a curse. I've talked about it in many times in past shows about the curse of Charlie Bauman. And if people don't know who Charlie Bauman is, he's the guy that got punched by Woody Hayes in the 1978 Gator Bowl. And yeah, it wasn't pretty. And ever since that, Ohio State's lost to Clemson after the 1978 Gator Bowl. 2014, Buckeyes losing the Orange Bowl to Clemson. And how the game ends? By an interception. 2016 Fiesta Bowl. In December, not in January. There were two Fiesta Bowls in 2016, so not to be confused with the one we won back in January of 2016. This is December 2016 Fiesta Bowl. Ohio State gets shut out by Clemson, which is the biggest loss I've ever seen Ohio State take ever. Probably since maybe USC back in 2008. So yeah. And then in the 2019 Fiesta Bowl in December, Ohio State making a last-minute charge down the field to win the game. Guess what? Ends in interception. Clemson intercepts it. It's over. So basically, out of the past four games we played Clemson, it's ended in interception. So I was like, okay, well, Ohio State's I'm thinking to myself, okay, Ohio State's probably going to play really well, and then Clemson's going to come back and, score a touchdown. We try to do a last-minute shot down the field, and then, boom, they intercept it. Game's over. But boy, was I wrong. I was wrong. Because we won. And by a lot. We won by 21 points. A blowout. Which is kind of weird. I didn't expect Ohio State to blow out Clemson that bad. I was like, okay, maybe we're just going to win it by maybe 2 touchdowns. But no, we won it by 3. And I'm kind of surprised. They actually took this revenge thing really good. So, let's just go over the stats of last Friday's game. So, Justin Fields, he did pretty good. 22 for 28, 385 yards. 6 touchdowns in one game. Only threw one interception. He averaged about 13.8 yards, and his quarterback rating was a 99. Exactly a 99. Which is kind of amazing. Justin Fields is awesome. His only loss was to Clemson last time when we versed them, which was that 2019 Fiesta Bowl in December. And honestly, he's been doing pretty good. Now, if he declares for the draft, though, this year, I'm going to be sad, because I would love to have him back for another year. But then again, we're supposed to get, a 5-star QB from Texas, which, yeah, that's pretty nice. And we also get other quarterbacks like Jack Miller and C.J. Stroud. There are a lot of good quarterbacks on our team. But I don't think not as good as Justin Fields. Because what Justin Fields has done on the field right now is amazing. I mean, he was a little shaky against Indiana, and he was a little shaky against Northwestern, but honestly, when it's like a national stage like the playoffs, you have to do good. And I think Justin Fields definitely showed that, especially during the second quarter. And you know what? I might as well, talk about, the second quarter, well, the whole game. So, yeah, because the game was pretty amazing. And, it was, outrageous. Let me try and get a scoring summary here so I can find out who scored touchdowns. Besides, I'm not very good at remembering who scored a touchdown. So, basically, in the first quarter, Trevor Lawrence just scored a 2-yard touchdown walk-in, blah, blah, blah. And then Trey Sermon was handed, and then, later in the game, Ohio State has the ball. Trey Sermon gets it, and he runs for a 32-yard touchdown, tying the game. And then Clemson player Travis Etienne, who is undoubtedly, I have to give respect to Travis Etienne, he is undoubtedly one of the best players that the ACC has ever had. He's the all-time leading rusher, and I think the all-time leading scorer. And, yeah, he's pretty good. I would love to see him play for an NFL team. He ran for a 3-yard touchdown. Then they got the extra point. And then, all of a sudden, boom, the tight ends come out of nowhere. And Luke Farrell catches an 8-yard touchdown reception from Justin Fields. And then we get into the second quarter. Ohio State's tied up 14-14. And things start getting crazy. And Justin Fields throws to another tight end, Jeremy Ruckert, for 17 yards for a touchdown. Now, the Buckeyes are now leading. And I think this is where the second quarter hits the biggest point. Oh, my phone's ringing. I don't need it to ring right now. So, okay. So, this is where it gets interesting. So, Justin Fields, they're in Clemson territory, and then Justin took the snap. He runs with the ball, and then all of a sudden, boom, he gets tackled by a guy, I believe, by the name of, let me see if I can find him in the defense section. James Skolaski. James Skolaski. He gets hit by him with the crown of his helmet. By the crown of his helmet. In the ribs. And I was like, oh no, that's not good. That is not good. And now I started having nightmares. Like nightmares in my head. They were starting to pop it up. Like pop, 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 pop. And the thing is, I thought Justin was done. I really thought he was done. So the referees kick out Skolaski for targeting, because I knew that was targeting. If you use the crown of the helmet, that's obviously targeting, and you're out of here, buddy. You are out. So yeah, Schlasky gets kicked out for targeting, and then C.J. Stroud comes in for one play, and Justin Fields goes back out on the field, and he throws a 9-yard touchdown to Chris Olave. He throws a 9-yard touchdown pass to Chris Olave, and then he limps off the field because he got hurt ribs. And the Buckeyes lead by 2 scores. And then, after Clemson got the ball, we got the ball back. And then, with like 11 seconds left in the first half, Justin Fields throws another ball to Jeremy Rutgert for 12 yards for a touchdown, and the score is 35-14. And everybody's like shocked, like, where did this come from? I was even shocked. I was like, where did this come from? So, yeah, apparently everyone's shocked. Everyone is bloody shocked. Basically the doubters, but not a lot of Buckeye fans. I was shocked, though. And then, we get the ball to start the second half. It didn't go well. Clemson has the ball, and then Trevor Lawrence throws a 10-yard touchdown pass to Cornell Powell to make it a 2-score game. So it's 35-21. And then, in the third quarter with 4:55 left, Justin Fields throws a bomb to Chris Olave for a touchdown. 56 yards. I was like, oh my Lord. That was beautiful. I was like, maybe we do have a chance to win. Maybe we do have a chance to win. Maybe. I said maybe because it's not over yet. And then the fourth quarter starts, after a back and forth with Clemson. Fourth quarter starts, Justin Fields is in Clemson territory. He drops back to pass, throws a 45-yard dime to Jameson Williams for a touchdown. And I was like, oh my goodness. That's beautiful. And Justin Fields, he's a dangerous, dangerous man. So the score is 49-21. And, yeah, it was pretty good. And then, Trevor Lawrence throws a 26-yard touchdown pass to Cornell Powell. And makes it 49-28. And then we had the ball back, then we punted, and then Trevor Lawrence was about to possibly make a comeback here to make it possibly a 2-score game and hopefully, come back and win this like a miracle and stuff. But guess what happened? Trevor Lawrence was about to throw a touchdown pass to a wide receiver. The wide receiver had it in his hands, and then it gets batted out by Marcus Williamson and into the hands of Sevyn Banks for an interception. And I was like, it came full circle. All those interceptions that Ohio State threw and lost football games ended in interception and finally came full circle. It came full circle, as well as the targeting call came full circle. Where Sean Wade supposedly targeted targeted Trevor Lawrence last time we played Clemson, and we all know it was bad. But yeah. The targeting call came back, and the interception call came full circle. So yeah, the targeting call full circle, and the interception full circle. And just like that, Ohio State finally, the Buckeyes beat Clemson. 49-28 the final score Justin Fields, your offensive MVP, and Tuff Borland, your defensive MVP. And finally, the Buckeyes have come back to the national championship. And yes, I did do a Rock thing. You know what the Rock does, the final thing. Yeah, I did a wrestling thing. So yeah, oh my goodness, what a game. And as I said before, Justin Fields, 22 for 28, 385 yards, 13.8 yards averaged. 6 touchdowns, only 1 interception, and a quarterback rating of 99. Trevor Lawrence, he went 33 for 48, 400 yards, an average of 8.3 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception, a quarterback rating of 77.2. Which kind of says that, Trevor Lawrence, he didn't deserve the Heisman. With that Sugar Bowl performance, he didn't deserve the Heisman. It's just like, Kyle Trask in the Cotton Bowl against Oklahoma. We obviously knew after these 2 games who was going to win the Heisman. It was obvious. It was so obvious. And we'll get to that later. Trey Sermon had 193 yards, 31 carries, 6.2 yards per carry, 1 touchdown. Travis Etienne had only 32 yards rushing, 10 carries, an average of 3.2 yards, and 1 touchdown. Which is kind of weird. I'm kind of surprised that the Buckeyes could, contain Etienne. He's been explosive on Clemson's offense, but it just goes to show you that you can suppress the defense. I mean suppress the offense. And Justin Fields, he had a pretty good rushing day. 42 yards rushing, 8 carries, 5.3 yards per carry. It's pretty good. Also, Mayan Williams had some pretty good rushes. 21 yards, 3 carries, average of 7 yards per carry. His longest run was like 15. So yeah, a lot of good running backs coming to Ohio State, and I bet Mayan Williams is going to be really good next season. Like seriously, watch out for Steel. Excuse me. Watch out for Steel Chambers and Mayan Williams. They could be difference makers in the run game for Ohio State next year. So yeah, and Chris Olave, 6 receptions, 132 yards, 22 yards average, 2 touchdowns. Yeah, pretty good for Chris Olave. Pretty good Sugar Bowl for Chris Olave. And then Jameson Williams, 3 receptions, 62 yards, an average of 20.7 yards, 1 touchdown. The receivers were doing great. Receivers and tight ends, great. All of them great. And but there's one question I would like to make. How did Tuff Borland get the MVP? Because I feel like Tuff didn't deserve MVP, like defensive MVP. Tuff had like 8 total tackles, 4 of them solo, and then just nothing else. I felt like either Justin Hilliard or Shaun Wade or maybe even, Tommy Togiai or any other guy would have gotten defensive MVP. No disrespect for Tuff Borland. I mean, I respect Tuff Borland. He's been doing a heck of a job as a defender. But sometimes the stats can be, a little confusing. I mean, Shaun Wade had like 9 total tackles, 7 of them solo. Sevyn Banks, he had 4 total tackles, all of them solo, and a pass defense. Tommy Togiai had 4 total tackles, 4 of them solo. 1 tackle for loss, and a pass defense. But yeah, it's weird. It's weird how some bowl games award their MVP awards, but Justin Fields being awarded the offensive MVP was definitely a big W here, because Justin Fields, man, he went in there with hurt ribs. Like, seriously, well, he went in there all healthy, and then boom, he gets hurt ribs, and he still completed the game. And I think Chris Fowler, one of the commentators in the game, he said this is the most athletic kid that I've ever seen in my 3.5 decades of calling football games. And I'm going to have to agree with him. Name one person that went in with an injury and won a football game. I know a lot of people can, think about some football players, like professional football players that went in with injuries and still won the game. But I want you to name any college player. I know you can name professional players, but try and name college players that have gone in with injuries and still finished up a game. Because usually coaches would just take him out and sit him on the bench. But Justin Fields, he and Ryan Day were like, well, Justin Fields was like to Ryan Day, hey, coach, I know this is an important game. I know I'm hurt, but I got to go out there and finish. And that's what Justin Fields did. Justin Fields did that. And he won the game. It is unbelievable what Justin Fields has done this season. He was the Silver Football winner. He's an All-American, I think. He was Offensive Player of the Year for the Big Ten. I think it was Quarterback of the Year of the Big Ten, I think. Maybe. I'm not sure. But a lot of these Buckeyes have stepped up. Trey Sermon stepped up. He broke Eddie George's 25-year-old single-season rushing record. Well, not single season, but single game rushing record. Justin Fields breaking records at the Sugar Bowl. And, this team is special. Ryan Day said this team is special, and I agree with Ryan Day. And I'm excited to see what they can do in the national championship. Unfortunately, I'm not able to watch the national championship, sadly, because I might have to work extremely early the next day on a Tuesday, so I might not be able to watch the game. I know. Please boo me. I don't care. I need money. But I'm trying to get a radio job, so yeah. Alright, so yeah. And after that game, after the Sugar Bowl, the national championship is set. Alabama and Ohio State. And that's what we'll talk about coming up next after this break. So yes, it's time for a break, but when we come back, it's Alabama and Ohio State, the national championship. Who do I think has a better advantage, and who do I think is going to win the game? It's going to be great. You better tune in. You better stay on here. It's going to be crazy. And maybe fun. And maybe a little scary. But who knows? This is Big C in the Morning on WDG Underground Columbus, home of the Unsigned Artists. And let's go get some music here. Here's Rico Mays with Heaven. So yeah, we'll be right back.
Oh, girl, your silhouette.
Yeah. Angel, your name must be Angel, right? They said you wasn't working, but I knew you'd be working tonight. Don't be alarmed, no. I haven't heard much, but I've heard some. I don't mean no harm, no. sad. See, I came prepared for flight, so don't you deny my high. You say you never tried it. You know I don't believe that shit. But the truth is the truth, and this ain't that easy to find. You say you're ready, but you know that I'm ready too. The look in my eyes is more than you need to see to believe. I know the way, however you wanna do it, girl. But please stay inside, 'cause it's easy to get lost inside. It's like heaven. With an angel like you up here, can you see it looks like heaven? With an angel like you in here. So ride it, go and ride it, baby. Take your time, take your time and ride it. I see you riding, baby. And ride it. Don't stop riding, baby. Close your eyes, enjoy your ride. Oh, now you're climbing higher. I see you flying, baby. How's your flight? She replied, it feels like heaven. I'm so glad I got you right here. I agree, yes indeed, it feels like heaven. What an angel like you, right here.
What I love about the Ohio Media School is the dreams, the stories I got to tell and create, and the people that I got to meet. I want to do everything that I can to use my creative talents to make the world a better place. And I want to thank everyone that's helped me through this whole entire journey, because I couldn't have done it without the support of my team and the school and family and people. That's all I got.
And we are back. This is WDG Underground Columbus. Let me do it again. This is WDG Underground Columbus, home of the unsigned artists. And this is Big C in the morning. We are back. And, yeah. So now we are going to go into and talk about the national championship. Oh boy, the national championship is getting intense. It's intense, people. It is very intense. Because Oh boy. The Ohio State Buckeyes are versing the Alabama Crimson Tide. The number one Alabama Crimson Tide. You know, that team that was, so dominant ever since Nick Saban took over, and now, last year, they had a bump in the road and won the Citrus Bowl, and now they're back in action and playing the national championship. And oh boy, it's going to be a battle between two head coaches, Ryan Day, Nick Saban. Ryan Day trying to write history for himself and win a national title. Nick Saban trying to become the coach with the most national titles, which is 7. Because I believe Paul Bear Bryant, he has 6. And Woody Hayes has 5, but ESPN says he has only like 3. And that's not right. Yeah, don't listen to ESPN. They don't know what they're talking about, especially when it comes to national championship totals, like how many national championships they won. You know how many ESPN said we won? 6. I know for a fact that we have won 8, not 6. We have won 8 national titles, and they say Alabama's won like 16, 15, I don't know. But I know Alabama's won like 17. They're going for their 18th national title. So, yeah. Alabama's leading everybody in national championships, but I actually think, excuse me. I actually think like Princeton or Yale or Penn or whatever of those Ivy League schools, I think one of those guys have like the most national championships. Because if you think about it, Princeton and Rutgers, they were the only college football teams back when college football was founded in 1869. So yeah, it's pretty intense here. So yeah, we've got the national championship, Alabama, Ohio State, Ryan Day versus Nick Saban, Justin Fields versus Mac Jones, and Chris Olave versus Devontae Smith. Or maybe, Sean Wade versus Devontae Smith. Because, they want, Devontae Smith, he wants Wade, and Wade wants Smith. So, yeah. And, let's talk about the Heisman. So, we obviously know who was going to win the Heisman. It was Devontae Smith of Alabama. First wide receiver to win the award since 1991, and I believe everybody probably knows who the first wide receiver was to win the award. I don't know. But we all know who won it last. Desmond Howard of that school up north. So, yeah. Devontae Smith, he's actually a pretty good player. I have to give respect to Devontae Smith. He is a pretty good player. This season he's had 105 receptions, 1,641 yards, 20 touchdowns. He is a player. And yeah. He's going to be a little bit of a problem for the Buckeyes, but I think maybe if Sean Wade or whoever's covering him, I think they might have a chance. I think the Buckeyes actually do have a chance. But I don't want to say anything because, jinxes. And I just don't like to jinx. Because I feel like if I jinx, I ruin everything. Just like when I jinxed I jinxed the Indians, the Cleveland Indians in the World Series. I jinxed Ohio State like twice. Well, a bunch of times. And I felt bad about it. So I'm playing the safe game and just not jinxing everybody. I'm not gonna jinx them. So yeah, Devontae Smith, he's a pretty good He's a pretty good football player. Definitely deserved the Heisman. Mac Jones, he's a pretty good quarterback. Even though they played more games than Ohio State, I feel like Justin Fields would be right up with Mac Jones. So just looking over this thing. I mean, Alabama's played a lot more games. They played a lot more games, and I heard that they're gonna get one of their wide receivers back for Alabama. Jalen Waddell. He's coming back, but I heard that he's gonna be like a game time decision. And speaking of game time decisions, I want to talk about the COVID-19 thing for Ohio State. There have been rumors that Ohio State doesn't have enough players to play in the national championship, said by somebody who thinks they are smart. But Gene Smith, the athletic director of Ohio State, says that we are still going to play in the national championship game no matter what happens. Even though that they said they probably are down a position group. But the thing is, if it's found out that a lot of good players from Ohio State have COVID-19 and Ohio State plays in the national championship, I feel like Ohio State doesn't have a chance. This is what worries me. When we play a really good team, either they're in our conference or not in our conference, it worries me. It worries me a whole lot because of, because of this season. This whole season, it's been COVID. I'm like, can we stop with the COVIDs, please? Seriously. So this game is going to be a very, very tough game. I don't know what will happen. It's probably going to be a very scary game. Thank goodness I will be watching it because I got work. I got to wake up early in the morning, very early in the morning, and go to work. Now, what I saw in the Sugar Bowl, what Ohio State did, that was pretty good. But I felt like they used up everything to beat Clemson. And I feel like they have nothing left in the tank to beat Alabama. That's one of the feelings I'm getting. But, yeah. It's going to be very tough to see what Alabama's going to do. Because we all know maybe Devontae Freeman. Well, hold on, no. Devontae Smith. Devontae Smith. Who knows? Devontae Smith might, just, hurdle all of our players and rush for touchdowns. He's hurdled some players, but I don't think I think he has hurdled one player for a touchdown. So yeah, he might hurdle all of our defensive players and run for the touchdowns. Because, Devontae Smith, we all know he's a good football player. He's a really good football player. He's the Heisman Trophy winner. But Ohio State played against Marcus Mariota. He was a Heisman Trophy winner. And guess what happened? He lost to us. But will this be, a second happening? A second happening of, just Ohio State beating a Heisman Trophy winner in the national championship. Because, I don't know. It's conflicted. But I do know some things about, Heisman Trophy winners and national championships. The last time a football player earned the Heisman and won a national championship was, I believe it was, I think it was Derrick Henry. No. It was Joe Burrow. He was the last one to win a national championship while winning the Heisman. And a lot of players have done it, like Reggie Bush, Derrick Henry. A lot of players. But there are some players that have won the Heisman but lost the national championship. Troy Smith won the Heisman, lost the national championship. Yeah. I forget who else. Oh yeah, Marcus Mariota won the Heisman, lost the national championship. So yeah, a lot of players won won the Heisman but lost national championships. But some of them won the Heisman and won national championships. I mentioned Joe Burrow, Reggie Bush, Derrick Henry. Who else? Jameis Winston. Yeah, I think that's all I can think of. So as you can see, guys, a lot of players can win the national championship with a Heisman, but some can't win the national championship and just win the Heisman. Like for Tim Tebow, his team didn't go to the national championship. The 2007, Florida Gators, they didn't go to the national championship. But Tim Tebow won the Heisman. So, yeah. But this is going to be a very, very interesting game. It's going to be a very tough game because it's Alabama. And my dad's always said this. Nobody can beat Alabama. He said that. He actually said that. If you're wanting proof, go ask him. Because, I bet he's looking right at my face now saying, "What are you doing, son? What in the world are you doing to me?" And I'll be like, just stating facts. Facts that you have completely said to me. So, yeah. But anyways, yeah, this game is gonna be really tough. I would definitely, if I was Ohio State, I would put my focus on Devontae Smith and Mac Jones because they are playmakers. If I were Ohio State for choosing players who to use, I would definitely use the run game and mix it with the pass game. Because Trey Sermon, if you use Trey Sermon, woo, you're gonna have a fun time. A fun time. And yeah. And man, Alabama's last games. I actually want to go and look at Alabama's last few games. Let's go back to the last 5. So they took care of Notre Dame 31-14, a low-scoring game. But in the SEC Championship against Florida, they won by 6. So technically, Alabama's a little bit penetrable. They have there's a little penetrableness in Alabama's offense and defense. So that's something that Ohio State should look at. They should be looking at the film of the SEC Championship game and see what went wrong for Alabama and how they can use this to, smack them. They destroyed Arkansas, destroyed LSU, destroyed Auburn. They destroyed Kentucky, destroyed Mississippi State, destroyed Tennessee. And had a little bit of a fight with Georgia, a little bit of a fight with Ole Miss. Kind of a skirmish with Texas A&M, and a little bit of a whatever in Missouri. So yeah, this is going to be a very, very interesting thing for Alabama. Well, interesting thing for Ohio State for Alabama. It's going to be a big old what's it to you coinky doink. And if you look at Ohio State's last few games, we obviously beat Clemson 49-28. Northwestern it was a little bit of an oof. Michigan State blew them out. Indiana, kind of a bit of a... It was a big skirmish. It was a big skirmish seeing who wins. It was very intense. I feel like this is going to be like Indiana or Northwestern. Like a mix of Indiana and Northwestern. Like, seriously. And then Rutgers, there are a lot of tricks in Rutgers' bag. Penn State, it was a little tough game. So, yeah. Nebraska was a big blowout. So, yeah. A lot of differences between the Crimson Tide schedule and our schedule for the games we played. So this is going to be a very big toss-up here, people. Very big game and a very big toss-up, and a lot of money is on the line, and a lot of stuff is on the line. A trophy, bragging rights, money, trophy, football. I don't know. It's gonna be intense. It's gonna be intense. And a little fun fact about these two teams: if Alabama wins, they'll become the first 13-0 team to win the national championship since, I think, Texas. Yeah, I think it was Texas because they went 13-0, didn't they? Because they played like 11 games, and then in the regular season, then won the Big 12 in the postseason, then the Rose Bowl national championship. Excuse me. But yeah, I think this would be, Alabama's like the first 13-0 season since like 2005, and like the first 13-0 season for Alabama. I think, I don't know. Someone fact check me on that one. But if Ohio State were to win the national championship on Monday, it would be their first ever 8-win season, and like first 8-win season in like a long time. And it would be the first time since 1961 where they won 8 games and went undefeated and won the national championship. And that was 1961 when Woody Hayes brought the Buckeyes to 8 wins, 0 losses, and 1 tie. And I believe that tie was against Wisconsin. Or maybe TCU. I'm going to fact check that right now. It was either TCU or Wisconsin. And we shall get our result right now. TCU. So it was TCU. I was going to say it was either TCU or Wisconsin. But yeah, TCU was our only tie. Back in 1961. The Buckeyes won the national championship and went 8-0-1. So history could be made. History could be made for these two teams. Ohio State could get their 9th national championship. Alabama their 18th. Who knows? Who will do it? That is the question. And if you want to know who I'm picking for this game, I'm obviously an Ohio State fan. I love Ohio State. But my question is, can they do it again? Can they beat both of the top 2 teams in the country? That's going to be a difficult thing. But in my heart, I'm an Ohio State fan. But in my head, I'm thinking something different. Excuse me. But yeah, guys, it's going to be a very, very, very tough game for the Buckeyes. And I hope they can pull through and win it for Ohio State. I tried to do some kind of, Buckeye battle cry thing. Just forget it. But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a break. And when we come back, the Friday Shoutout. It's finally back here. So yeah, that's pretty nice. Friday Shoutout. Alright, this is Big C in the Morning on WDG Underground Columbus, home of the Unsigned. And now, here's a music video from Renee Dion called Wilderness. We'll be right back.
seems to never be done. Working to the bone under yesterday's sun. It's about Moses, my exodus, my miracle. It's about freedom, my wilderness experience. Need a lamp to my feet, a light on my path. Need a lamp to my feet, a light on my path. Need a lamp to my feet, a light on my path. Need a lamp to my feet, a light on my path. Who am I to doubt the land promised to me? Looking back, thinking this way will come easy, and it's not easy. It's about trusting, believing, knowing. It's about walking, reaping what I'm sowing. Need a lamp to my feet, a light on my path. Need a lamp to my feet, a light on my path. Need a lamp to my feet, a light on my path. Need a lamp to my feet, a light on my path. Need a lamp to my feet, a light on my path. Need a lamp to my feet, a light on my path.
When did you get back from Beijing? I gotta know. Ooh, Molly, are you stuck in nostalgia like me? I wanna know.
Alrighty, we are back on WDG Underground Columbus, home of the Unsigners, and this is Big C in the morning. It's about time for the Friday shout-out. And I've got 2 minutes, so obviously the first Friday shout-out is going to go to, yes, I said the first because I got 2. The first Friday shout-out is going to go out to the Ohio State Buckeyes, to Ryan Day and all the Ohio State Buckeyes going in the national championship in Miami Monday. I wish you guys luck, and hopefully you can bring back home the national title back to Columbus, because it'd be awesome. And it'd be great to see Ohio State win 9 national titles instead of 8, because 8's getting a little old. So yeah. And also, I would like to wish the Cleveland Browns a shout out, a good luck shout out, since they are going to go to Pittsburgh and play in the wild card for a spot in the AFC divisional round. And it's the Browns' first time in the playoffs in 18 years. I'm excited for the Browns, excited for the Buckeyes. I wish them all luck. Hopefully you guys win. And yeah, but these 2 games, Cleveland against Pittsburgh and Ohio State against Alabama, it's going to be scary. It's going to be very, 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 very scary. But hopefully they can pull it off. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, that is my time. It's 11 a.m., so it's time for me to go. It's sad, but, it's whatever. But next week, our topics are covering reviewing the national championship game and reviewing what the Cleveland Browns did on Sunday. So basically it's going to be a sports, an all football recap show. So yeah, but don't worry, we'll get back into regular things after those recap shows next week. So yeah, hopefully you guys will tune in 10 a.m. next Friday. It's going to be cool. It's going to be great. Tell your friends. Tell all your friends, your family members, that they don't want to miss the next show. So yeah. Anyways, this has been Big C in the Morning on WDG Underground Columbus, home of the unsigned artists. My name is Big C, and I am out of here. So yeah. Anyways, have a great Friday, ladies and gentlemen. Have a great rest of your weekend. Great weekend. And go Bucks and go Browns. So yeah, see y'all next week.